All right. Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks for being here. All right. Quite a lot of people already. Let me know if everything is okay. Everything seems right. All right. And hey, brand new channel member. I totally forgot that this pop-up thingy, this element was working. So great, thank you. Thanks for joining and thanks for helping me test this because I hadn't seen this in quite some time. So yeah. All right, so thank you all for being here. This is hopefully going to be an interesting live stream. So basically, the goal is the game that I'm currently working on. In order to announce the game, I basically have to make a trailer in order to make the public Steam page. And in order to make that, basically I need to create a whole bunch of interesting scenes to show in the trailer. That's pretty much it. So basically what I'm going to do here, just kind of creating those scenes to then record, to make the trailer, to then publicly announce this project, and so on. That's pretty much it. A trailer so soon. Yep, I mean, pretty much you have to... How you find success nowadays, especially on Steam, is you definitely need to keep your coming soon page visible for as long as possible. And you technically don't need a trailer in order to make it public, but it really helps. So yeah, my tip to you is to announce your game as quickly as possible, but make sure you have a Steam trailer and make sure this Steam trailer is good. Why can't I speak in Arabic? I don't know. Probably the TextMesh Pro default font doesn't have Arabic. I'm not sure. How do we change outfit? So, all right, let me get rid of the background. So just like that. If you want to customize your character, you can go and follow this mini tutorial. So you can go on the website, you can modify just the colors, or you can even draw a custom sprite sheet. All right, so there's a link, so if you want, go ahead and do that. All right, okay, so let's see, what do I need to do? So basically, if you didn't see the last, let's be the record capture footage in the editor. There's actually the Unity recorder, although I haven't looked into it yet, but I'll definitely be looking into it right now. Usually the way I record is just the way I record any of my videos. So I use OBS and just record, and just either make a build to record the full 1080p or just record like this and then cut off the thing. That's pretty much the thing. Okay. Nope, that's not a bug. This is a really nice, it's kind of similar to, it's the same UI element that I use for the super chat, just made for a new channel member. And J Phantom just joined, so that's really nice. So thanks again so much. All right, okay, so if you weren't here for the previous live stream, I basically talked about what is the top secret project that I'm currently working on, which is essentially it's my next Steam game, which I'm hoping to have released, let's say around July of next year. So that's kind of the goal. So I've been working on it and I've already done quite a lot of stuff, even though obviously visually it's still very much basic, but in terms of systems, I actually already have quite a lot of stuff working. So as you can see, it's based on my turn-based strategy course. So it's a turn-based game, so I can move around a bit. I can select this unit and move around. One of the things that I also implemented was the idea of factions. So those are enemies, and this one is a neutral NPC. So right now I cannot control him, but if I interact with him, there you go. Now he joins my team, and now I can move him around. So I can, for example, tell him to shoot, although actually he doesn't have ammo, so he cannot shoot because he doesn't have ammo in the inventory. But this guy does, so he can shoot, and boom, there you go. The enemy goes down, drops a bunch of loot. These things are items, so a whole bunch of stuff. Then there's tons of systems already made here. So this one over here, this is the power pole, so this is for the power system. So basically there's a generator, there's a power pole and the power main. So as things are connected to the power, they expand, and a bunch of these machines need to be connected to power. Thanks for your tutorials, that's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Right, so yep, don't trust a neutral NPC yet, because they will shoot you. Yeah, so basically already got a building system working, there's a crafting system, so over here I can click to select some kind of thing. So this little icon, this is actually ammo, and this one takes one lightning bolt to construct, so let me move over there, and on this unit let me pick up that one. Now I actually don't have any more movement, so let me just end the turn just to get back, and now I can move in there and I can interact with the crafting and interact again, and there you go, I just created an item. Now I can use the item transfer action to pick up some items and pick it up to myself, and now I've got one more ammo. So yeah, pretty much already got quite a lot of the systems working that I would like to do, but obviously as you can see in terms of visuals, it's still very much basic, so still very much a work in progress. So, like I said, the goal is basically, instead of working more on the systems right now, I'm going to work on making the trailer so that I can finally publicly announce the game and then continue working on it and so on. All right. Do the characters move with the nav mesh? Nope, it's just regular A-star pathfinding. So what I'm using is pretty much what I covered in a video quite a long time ago. So it's just regular A-star. And yep, just like this one. So if you want to know how A-star works, that video is pretty great for teaching you how the algorithm works. It's pretty interesting. Make tutorial on Relay and Lobby. Yep, I would like to do that. Lately I've been working on this game for these past 2 weeks, but yeah, now next week I'm going to be back to making some tutorials, and yep, that one is definitely on my list. So yep, okay, right. All right, so I also made a little storyboard of the trailer that I want to make. So this is kind of the whole idea for the trailer. So I just drew this. As you can see, I'm definitely not an artist. So yeah, basically for the trailer, starts off empty, just one survivor. Then the survivor opens up the door and sees a zombie eating another survivor and just shoots them. And you can see a zombie counter going down. And then that one says, "You saved me, can I join you?" So they join. Then both of them scavenge for resources. Then one of them goes into a crafting station in order to showcase crafting. Then equips brand new items, shoots a bunch more zombies, shows the counter going down a bunch more. Then a bunch more people join. Then showcase building an entire base. Showcase the entire map, becoming the green, which is the good guys, taking over the zombies, the red. Then showcasing two different teams, one going in a different direction, one of them shooting zombies, one of them building an outpost. Once again, the map expanding, so the humans taking over for the zombies. Showcasing the power grid, the atom transport, then a bunch more teams, maybe some boss zombies. Once again, the map being taken over, the zombies going down, and then finally ending. So this is kind of the storyboard that I made for the trailer that I'm trying to make. And also in the beginning, before all of this, so this is kind of I think it's an interesting story. I think it's an interesting idea for the trailer. So if I can build it just like this, it should be a good trailer. And then before that, I just want to make a quick bumper. So pretty much the main hook for the game is how it involves tons of interesting mechanics, tons of interesting systems. So before all of that, I basically, seems a little long on paper. Yeah, kind of. I mean, these shots are going to be pretty small, so I think this whole thing can fit into about 2 minutes. And then before that, I basically got the bumper, which is going to showcase all of the mechanics on the game. So this is kind of going to be a whole bunch of scenes that each are going to be on screen for just about 2-3 seconds. So it showcases how the game is open world. It's got survival elements, automation, crafting, strategy, and turn-based, and so on. So that's pretty much it. Basically going to show each of them and show the game with those mechanics and so on. So what I'd like to do in this live stream is pretty much just prepare these scenes. So pretty much just making them kind of like interactive things, just so I can record them for the trailer. That's kind of the idea. Game trailers are usually 30 to 90 seconds. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm targeting for. At the most, about 2 minutes. That's kind of it. What program will I use to edit the trailer? Yeah, the same thing that I always use, so just Premiere. So pretty much it. Alright, so over here, let me begin by trying to make the visuals for this scene. So I want some barbed wire in there. I want a whole bunch of zombies increasing. I want the human to be scavenging for resources and then throw out a trap. Then the zombies get caught in the trap and so on. So each of these scenes is going to be kind of like a GIF, pretty much. So just looping around, and this is going to be the very beginning of the trailer. Okay, right. So let me try to look into this, and I've got here a whole bunch of assets that I already got. So right now I got just a basic zombie, and yeah, got some movement animation. So pretty much just got the basic thing. Okay, so let's try making that scene. So first of all, I actually already prepared a bunch of, I grabbed a whole bunch of props and I dropped them into a scene. So let's see. Yep, so over here I got a scene. I just went through all the asset packs that I've got, pretty much all of the Synthi asset packs that I picked up in many sales, and just dropped them all over here. So got a whole bunch of interesting assets that I can use to populate pretty much what I'm trying to do. So for the first one, the main thing that I want, yep, definitely a ton of props, and there's even a lot more because I got so many packs. So yeah, selecting all of these, I pretty much just went through and I went through all of them. Look at all these packs, Apocalypse, Battle Royale, City, and so on. So I went through all of these. Each one has tons and tons of prefabs, tons of props, Actually, this one doesn't have much, but yeah. They have a whole bunch of them, so just selected which ones were interesting and dumped them all in here. Okay, so I kind of want a right here, a barbed wire. So I'll copy this one. Yep, these are all from Cinti Studios. I might also use from some other packs just because it's all low poly. So low poly is actually a sound that you can pretty easily make it interchangeable. So I might look into that one. And right, so for this one, I just called it test. Let me just, oh, right, because I deleted the other one. Okay, let me just duplicate this one, call this the trailer scene survival. Going to showcase the survival elements. Let me just put the scene there. Let me go. Okay, so now let me go into the props. Let me pick up the prop that I want and go in there and do. Just make sure, is the music coming on okay? So I think so. Because I can't actually hear the music, only you can hear the music, but yeah, it seems like it's going. Okay, good. All right. Okay. Hey, look at that, a custom character. That's really nice. Thanks for being here. All right. Okay, so I'm going to make a whole bunch of them. And let me just position the camera. So where am I going to put the camera? In communication with the Cinti team. Yeah, I've been with them. I definitely do enjoy their art. I use them quite a lot. Yeah, I have an affiliate link that I use for their own store. I've used that and I've promoted that a whole bunch of times. They tell me when they get some interesting sales. So yeah, definitely been in contact with them. They're pretty great. Yeah. Okay. So I want kind of a top-down view, but not too much top-down. Or actually, yeah, it should be a bit top-down, or maybe more zoomed in. Yeah, let's say something like this. By the way, here's a quick Unity tip. You can move the camera. I've got the Scene Machine virtual camera selected. So you just position the scene camera where you want and press Ctrl-Shift-F, and it places the camera exactly on that position. So if I go, there you go, the camera's in there. So if you want, instead of having to move the camera transform, you just move the scene camera. Let's say I want this view, Ctrl-Shift-F, and there you go, just like that. Okay, right. So this is actually a bit too zoomed in because I also want to show them kind of gathering resources. So let me also get the units. So I'm going to want one survivor and then a bunch of zombies. So this one is actually using the zombie model. Do I have any? Yeah, I don't think I have. No, these are all just zombies. Okay, so let me pick up a survivor model. So shortcut more easily when I want to take screenshots. Yep, definitely very useful. Right, so let me go into the Polygon Apocalypse. Let me find the characters, but the prefabs. So the prefabs for the characters. Where are they? Did I not import the characters? Okay, that's strange. Are they in a different place? Yeah, because I got the characters here. But they're not in there. Why are they not? Okay, I'm not sure. All right. Yeah, because they should be here. Okay, I probably forgot where the... Nice shirt, yeah. It's on the old Unity logo, but yeah, it's pretty nice. Those characters aren't prefabs. Yeah, for this one it's just a mesh, but it's okay. That works. Let me just... I just need to assign the material. So, yeah, because I'm not sure. I probably forgot to actually import the characters model. Hey, Super Chat, thank you. Game is looking awesome. Can't wait to play it. All right, that's awesome. Yeah, I might do something like a sort of pre-alpha before I make a build on Steam, something like that. So, yeah, if you're interested, hopefully before the release, that should be fun to make kind of a nice little playtest. The idea that I have in my head is really nice, so I really hope that I can build exactly the idea that I want. That's pretty much the goal. Okay, so on this one, let me just see. Yeah, I have no idea why probably forgot to drag the prefabs in some way, but it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, because that one went just like that. Okay, so anyway, doesn't matter. Right, so let me just pick up the animator. Where's the animator? This one. And just put it in there. And let's see this one. Will the game be multiplayer? Probably not. The idea is making it a turn-based strategy game, so I'm not entirely sure how I could make that multiplayer. But I'd love to, just as a personal challenge, just to try it out. But yeah, I don't. At least right now, the plan is not like that, but we shall see. We shall see. Okay, so I've got that character, and I've got the. Let's get rid of the zombie here. Yeah, I'm going to need the scene. Okay, so basically, I want 2 survivors on this side. So thanks again for the super chat. Thanks so much. Right, so on the characters, let's put a different one, like patient female. Okay, not a patient. I don't think that looks very good. Scout, where's this one? Yeah, okay, that looks good. Okay, I just noticed that they're bald. Is that supposed to have... Okay, yeah, I don't know. So later I'm definitely going to have to look into that. All right. Using Mixamo for the animations. Yeah, right now I'm using Mixamo animations, but eventually for the final game I will be using proper animations. So, but Mixamo is indeed great for when you want to try and get something up and running very quickly. It's pretty great. Okay. VR turn-based game. That would be interesting. How would you handle turn-based in VR? That's an interesting question. I guess you could handle it from the top down. There's a bunch of interesting top-down games like that, so that's one approach. Right. So let me just actually add a bunch more animations. Do I have any animations here? I don't know if I do. Yeah, I don't think I imported my wonk idle animations, so let me just import them. Let me go into the package manager, into my assets. Except I can't remember the name. That's always the tricky thing when dealing with packages, which is, oh, let me just stop this. So I imported some, what did I call them? Let me just, oh, I think I've got my asset sort page. Yep, right here. So I can just go animation. Is it animation? And the one that I'm looking for is one that is really awesome. That is a bunch of idle animations. Where is it? Where is it? Is it this one? Basic motions? Okay, maybe it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one with a whole bunch of basic animations. So, but let me open into the right project. So let me open up into this one. Open in Unity. And let's load it up. Okay, so the basic motions, let me import them. And let's see. Okay, so there are a whole bunch of animations. When does the character refresh? It refreshes automatically, but if you modify it, the validation is manual. So let me see if there are any brand new textures. Okay, that thing is loading. For some reason it always gets quite a bit slow. I think it's because I'm streaming. Every time I'm streaming, my internet gets quite a bit slow, but okay, so that one is handling. Right, so I can now find some idle animations. Basic motions, this is idle and crouch. I don't want crouch. I want just a regular idle animation. Yep, pretty much just like that. Did I put start crouch? Oh, did I double? Okay. Oh, I think I opened the wrong thing. Yeah, I want this one. And let me drag the basic motions idle. Let's put this one on the layer default state. Just make sure that all these are okay. Let me see the, that's still refreshing the page, but so far all of the custom textures are validated. Still waiting a bit. By the way, don't forget to link your YouTube account on the website, otherwise it doesn't know which character belongs to you. There's a bunch of people that made custom characters that did not. Okay, there's one here, so I'm going to validate it, even though it's going to look very strange. So I don't know if that person is here. So let me update the character customization. I don't know if that person is here. I have it linked, but it is not loading. What isn't loading? Yeah, I basically just validated all the ones, but so yeah. Learn a lot from your turn-based strategy course. Are you planning to upload the hex rate system? Yep, I think it just went live actually today. So the hex rate system, the lectures, they're on the bonus section, so right at the end. Yep, I think that did go live just today. So if you go and see it, it should be there already. It's about 5 lectures. It's actually a pretty simple change. So yep, go ahead, see that, and let me know if you have any issues. Should be red according to the page, and I'm great. Oh, you're talking about regular, yeah, because for the thing, I think it automatically updates. Okay, so I'm not sure. I thought you were talking about the thing, so I'm not sure. Okay, right. So let me just keep track. All right. Okay, so I want a whole bunch of enemies, so let me make a whole bunch more enemies. So on this one, I'm going to have another one there, another one there. Let's just make them a bit different. So on this one, instead of this one, let's say that one. And on the other one, instead of this one, let's say that one. And okay, so I got a bunch of zombies. Okay, so that's good. Now, I wanted them to be kind of... So where it is? Here it is. So basically I want this, so I want a bunch of zombies up top, I want a bunch of barbed wire, and then they are supposed to be gathering some loot. So let's try and pick something. Okay, but not from this one. Let's try and pick something to loot. So let's see. Let's go into the props. And let's pick some more props. Alright, so for looting, actually I think these packs right here with a whole bunch of random generic stuff, I think these look pretty good. So let me pick this one up. Let me go into the other one and just drop it over here. Let's pick up some more. Okay, so that one, and also wanted kind of like some cupboards, so maybe like this, and maybe like this. Okay, just copy these. Which asset is that? I don't know. These are from tons of Synthi assets, yeah. Are you going to use Synthi assets in the final game as well? Yep. I mean, I definitely cannot make anything better, so yep, I'm definitely going to make very heavy use of professionally made visual assets. I'm pretty good when it comes to programming, but I'm definitely not an artist, so I'm going to pretty much use assets that proper artists have made, and then I'm going to basically use my own programming to make the interesting part of the game. That's kind of the goal. Okay, so make a whole bunch of things, except like this. I'm probably going to put the camera a bit more up top, something like this. Except like this is a bit too much on top. So yeah, this is actually an odd angle, but I don't want it to look too much. Maybe like this. Any soon multiplayer video? Yeah, hopefully within the next few weeks. I've been pretty much working on this project, but yeah, next week I would like to get back to making a whole bunch of tutorials. So yep, next week I should hopefully start working on the multiplayer tutorials. I still want to cover lobby and relay, so yep, should start working on that next week. Okay, let me just stop selecting the plane because it's always selecting this. Select that one, move it just to the side. Okay, so I got some barbed wire, a whole bunch of things. Let me just... No, crap. What did I duplicate? Canvas. Yeah, I don't want that. Let me not touch the canvas. Alright, how many commercial games have we released so far? I think 8 or 9. I'm actually not sure, but I think... Yeah, I think it's 8. You can find them all on the... Well, you can find them all on Steam or on the website, the game bundle. So this bundle contains pretty much all of them except Barrel Run Tycoon because it's the most recent one. But yeah, pretty much all of my games right there. Alright, good. So like this, I think this is a pretty decent scene. I just kind of need a floor texture. Alright. So for the floor texture, actually that's the one thing that is quite tricky. So yeah, I think I'll probably handle that later. Alright, let me just get a trap prop. So let's go back into the props. I'm pretty sure I found a bear trap on some of these asset packs. So that's some luggage, some things. First aid kit, nope. Toolbox, a battery, and a bunch of electrical things. And a laptop, and kind of like a bomb or something, a generator. Nope. There was a trap around here somewhere. A bunch of tools. What is this? Oh, right, it's a saw. Nope, none of these. I swear I saw a trap. Kind of bear trap. Oh, there it is. There you go, really nice bear trap right here. So I think this is going to be a fun one. So let me grab this one. Let me go into the scene survival and drop the trap. And okay, so basically then for the animation, the player is kind of like going to throw these traps, then the zombies go in, they die on the traps, and so on. All right. Okay, so that's the basics of what I want from this scene. So I want a bunch of zombies there, they move forward, they die on the traps and so on. And this is meant to showcase the survival mechanics on the game. So yep, I think like this is pretty good. Except for the... I think that would look better with a bit more of a barrier rather than just having some barbed wire. Did I have some barriers? Actually, don't know if I picked that up. Can take 50 hours. Not sure what you mean by that. All right. Yeah, I had some barricades, but apparently I didn't pick them up. So yeah, okay. No barricades. All right, it's okay. Is there planning to do more advanced topics about multiplayer? I would like to do a full mini course really going into detail on multiplayer, making a really nice game. I very much would like to do that, but I'm not sure I have enough time to do that. So I'm still questioning whether that plan is possible to do or not. I hope so, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I definitely would like to research it into quite a lot more detail. Packages PBR ready, what does it mean? Does it mean it has anything to do with URP, HGRP? PBR just means physically based rendering, and both URP and HGRP, as well as the built-in render pipeline, that is also physically based rendering. So just by itself, it really, all it means is that material was made in the last 10 years. That's pretty much it. So yeah, you should probably see whatever package you're looking at, if it says what materials, what rendering, because it should say on the SR page what rendering pipeline it supports, so that's what you should focus on pretty much. I think that in the future I'll use dots for my game, for example, job system to manipulate. Yep, I'm probably going to be using the, maybe not dots, maybe not entities itself, but definitely going to be using the job system in the final version of this game. I'm pretty sure that is going to be very much a necessity in order to make it all work profitably, in order to make it all work with good performance. Yeah. Right, so I'm just thinking of what kind of floor I could get, but yeah, because these buildings are all separated like that. All right. Not a monkey. Yep, that's right. Okay, so yeah. What's a new project? I'm working on what will eventually become my next Steam game. So it's a very long-term project, or I guess medium-term, depends on your context. But yeah, pretty much planning for release around July of next year, and I just started working on it recently. And right now on this live stream, I'm pretty much trying to make a whole bunch of scenes, trying to make my storyboard for the trailer, so trying to make this a reality so that I can make a trailer, so that I can publicly announce the game, and so on. That's kind of the goal. glad you are making a 3D game. Yep, I'm also excited to be doing that. All of my other games were in 2D, so I'm definitely excited to be making something in 3D. It's pretty interesting. All right. Keep the Unity version the same, or will you update it? Yeah, this game, the course was made using Unity 22. So yep, I will definitely be using this, just upgraded to the LTS version, which should be out by the time that I finish the game. So yep, around March of next year, I'll upgrade the project to 22.3 LTS. And yep, I will be using that and releasing that. I do a devlog with it. Yep, that is definitely the plan. Since I'm going to be making this over several months, I definitely want to make regular devlog showcasing the project and everything. Okay, right. So for this scene, I think I kind of have what I want. Let me just make some super basic, just some scripting. So let's call it trailer survival. And let me make a script for that. Oh crap, well, that's not meant to be the name. Trailer survival. Do you find 2D easier than 3D? The main easy thing is that I can draw. I mean, not really with quality, but I can open up Photoshop and draw something. Whereas I really can't make a model. Although I have tried modeling and I've learned quite a bit. So I could make some basic 3D models, but yeah, that's basically the main limitation. Is making 3D assets is much more difficult than making just 2D sprites. But nowadays, since I already have so many assets that I picked up from the asset store, because of that, yeah, I think I can now engage in a 3D project and I'll be using all kinds of 3D assets made by the store. That's pretty much it. So that's the big difference and the reason why right now I'm going to be using 3D. Okay, so this one's trailer survival. And let me just get a serialized field. What did I call it? Unit trailer. So the unit trailer. And what am I going to call it? So this is the Survivor 1 unit trailer and Survivor 2, and then I'm going to have the zombies. So the zombie 1, then all the others. And let's just do a start, and this is going to, oh boy. And let me just use my own utils, which is going to be super helpful. All right, so over here, on this one, I made a super basic movement code just so that I can tell it to move somewhere and it does something. So yeah. Surprised that models don't have LODs. LODs can help for performance. That's actually going to be an interesting question. I mean, like I said, this is going to be my first 3D game, so I wonder if I'm going to come across those kinds of performance issues with the models. But yeah, like you said, they are low poly, so I would assume that is why they don't have LODs, since they already have pretty few polygons. But yeah, I guess we shall see if that is going to be a problem or not. Should be interesting. I learned a lot from your vids, so thank you. That's awesome. I'm glad the videos have helped you. Okay, right, so let me tell the units to go somewhere. So let me just pick up my pointer. So on the first one, I want to tell them to move in there. So let me copy, oh no, not that. Over there. So on this one, I'm going to tell this one to move to, and you're going to move to 14.2F, then 0, and then 2.38F. And then for the Survivor 2, let's tell it to go into that position. So that's 6.43. So 6.43. And then 2.75F. Okay, so these two go in that direction. And then, for example, on this zombie, oh, what did I move? I should move the parent. So let's start him a bit back there. And for that one, let's go over there and step on the trap. So go down, move to, what is that, 12.6, 12.6F. Just zero out on the Y, just make, yeah, make sure I'm on the right position, 7.5. Okay, right. So let's just see, it's gonna be a game. Yep, I'm working on what will eventually become my next Steam game. So yep, it will be a game. All right, so did I? Yeah, I was actually not moving the pointer, but it's okay. Doesn't really matter. So on this one, let me attach a script. Then let me pick up, so the characters, so that is going to be the survivor. Oh right, I forgot to add the scripts. So this one has. So on these ones, let me add the trailer. Oh boy, I added. Yeah, it's not on this one. Okay, not that secret. Yeah, it's a very shareable secret. Oh right, just dragging the animator. And on this one, drag that one. Then let's select, so that one is going to be number 1. Then that one is going to be number 2. And then for the zombie 3 is going to be that one. So let's pick that one. Okay, great. How to get good at coding? The answer is experience. That really is the main thing. Alright. Weird, I cannot see my custom character. Did you make a custom texture? Because that one has to be manually validated. So let me refresh the page, see if there are any new custom characters. Is this game a commercial thing, or are you making it to share with the community? Yep, this is going to be a standard Steam game on Steam. So yep, a commercial thing. Yeah, that's pretty much. But I won't be making tons of devlogs explaining what I do. So yeah, it's a Steam game, but also with the community. Is there a way to get the Unity shirt? No, I don't think so. This pretty much just merged from one of their Unite conferences. I don't think they have a public store, so sorry, no. You have a tutorial about timing of actions, so you want to use the hit animation when the animation reaches a certain point. For that, you can look at, where's my thing? You can look at animation events, which I haven't made a video on that, I don't think, but yeah, if you want to trigger things at certain points in the animation, definitely look into animation events. So that's one way. And another way is to simply not use animation, use what I'm going to be using here. So for example, for the Survivor 1, I want them to move in there, but then after some time, I want them to move somewhere else. So for that, I can use my own super awesome class, the function timer, and I can basically run some code after a certain amount of time. So let's say after 1 second, then I want to move, let's say where? Let me pick up the pointer. So this unit is going to go there, then go perhaps back around here, so 11.6, so 11.6, then 0, and then 1.96. So going to go there, and then after some time more, so after, I'll put inside that one. So he gets there, and when he gets there, then let's go to a different one. Why do you close the bottle with your head? Because it's faster than using the twisty things. That's pretty much it. All right, and 1F. So basically, if you want to make timing things, then using a function like this, which is part of my utilities, but also covered in a video. If you use delegates, it's pretty nice, extremely useful. So if you want, watch that video to learn how to create a function timer, which lets you trigger an action after some time. Opinion on the humble bundle nature manufacturer assets. Yeah, I just briefly saw that bundle, and it does look really interesting if you want some high poly realistic visuals. It does seem pretty great. Actually, I think I added it to the description on this live stream, didn't I? I think I did, because I saw that. Yeah, I did. Yeah, so basically there's this humble bundle. So if you like realistic visuals instead of low poly, then this bundle is actually a pretty great thing. So if you want, definitely look into that. How to make a custom avatar. You follow this tutorial right here, you draw on it, then you tell me when you created something. So it appears 2 people have created a custom avatar, so let me just validate those 2. My website is super slow. Now let me update the characters, and I have no idea if some people down here are the ones using these. Oh, there you go. There's a custom character right there. So that's how you do it. You draw it, you'll link your YouTube account, and yep, it shows up in there. What's your opinion on Godot? I've never used it, but lots of people say lots of positive things about it, so I assume that it's pretty nice. Okay, right. So, so I just want to test out the timing. So that's going to be something, and there you go, another custom character. Yeah, just go ahead and delete the borders. That one is not necessary, that one is just to help you. Yeah, just delete those and the character looks real nice. Hey, there you go, custom characters. Right, and I kind of missed the timing. I was talking about timing a while ago. And yeah, look at that one. It goes there, and after a second goes there, and then goes there. Now let me actually just change the animations. So on this one, I change it for that one. Let's make that one the default state, just because I want to see them walk. But I use VS Light mode, because dark mode burns my eyes. That's pretty much the answer. Alright, so look at that, it did work. Although it moved way too fast. Let me actually lower the speed on this one. So for the movement speed, maybe just 3 units. It's a little fast, yeah. Yeah, definitely the timing and things, it's all going to be... There you go, moves there, and moves there, and then moves there. Although it rotated in a strange way. I think it's because I use slurp that it rotates. Yeah, that is some strange rotation. I think it's because I experimented with changing it for slurp. Dark mode burns my eyes. I mean, yeah, a lot of people say that, so for some reason my eyes are indeed strange, but yep, that is what happens. I guess different people have different eyes, but for me, if this whole thing is black and the text is white, my eyes get really messed up trying to focus on those tiny letters. So yeah, that really messes me up. But then again, I also like to work on a well-lit room, whereas a lot of people like to work on a really dark room. Okay, I have no idea why the character is all messed up. Did I? Yeah, because the target forward is not being strange, I don't think. That's odd. Alright, anyways. Dark mode at night and day mode during the day. Yeah, I mean, if your eyes work like that, then yeah, definitely use whatever causes you the less strain. Okay, that is strange. Why is the... That is very strange. I guess maybe I gave it a strange... Does the character... No, the character is on 0, 0. Alright, anyways, yeah, that is... It's all being very strange. I'm not entirely sure why. But it's okay. Tried making textures with AI text image. Nope, but I very much would like to research that topic. For someone like me who has no artistic skill, then those AI generators do seem like they are potentially very useful. So, yep, I definitely would like. Can make progress with all of us pestering you. Yeah, I would say I'm definitely quite a bit slower since I'm answering questions, but it's a nice different change of pace, pretty much. Yeah. Looks like the asset pivot is out. Oh, you know what? That's actually right. Or I think so, right. Basically, this should not have root motion. I think that is the issue. Is it? That might be... Yeah, there you go. That is indeed the issue. It was the root motion, so it's not necessarily the pivot, but yeah, since I dragged the model instead of duplicating the other ones, I forgot to disable root motion, so yeah, everything gets messed up. Alright. Some cool pen spinning combo wombo. Yeah, I really don't know any any cool combos. I just know this one, pretty basic, and then the thumb around, also pretty basic. So yeah, I just know the absolute basics just to keep my mind occupied while I'm thinking. That's pretty much my hands occupied while I'm thinking. That's kind of the goal. All right, okay, so yeah, so this one was working, actually doing that. Kind of fixes the other issue that it was actually moving too fast. It was moving too fast because the thing is also... Yep, root motion does mean the animations take control. So basically these animations, they've got movement baked into the animation. Oh, that's not the project. So yeah, basically the animations were moving it forward as the transform was also moving it forward. So that's why it was moving a ton, then rotating a ton. Yeah, it really gets really confusing when you use root motion. It's an interesting tool, but definitely very tricky. All right, so there you go. Some basic timing, so that's how it's going to be. Now I obviously need some animation about looting that. And actually, let me look into the animations. Because I'm pretty sure there are some loot animations. Let me see what I've got here. Nope. Okay, so I've got a loot at the bottom. Okay, but no, that's not the one that I want. But there is a... let me see. Where's my... Oh, there you go, the accessor. because I had, yeah, there you go, I think it's this one, the crafting mechanism animation. I think this pack has a bunch of really interesting animations. So let me try and see this one. How much time do you allocate for work, sleep, leisure, if I may ask? I must say one thing that I am not a good example of is when it comes to work-life balance. So I am not the right person to give tips on that. For me, I work way too much, so yeah, I'm not sure I can say that. Although I can say that for me, sleep is definitely very crucial. If you cut back on sleep, you're going to be all messed up, so that does not seem like a worthwhile trade-off for me. So for me, sleep. Oh, apparently I already had this one. So yeah, so for me, sleep, definitely don't cut back on that. Make sure you only sleep 8 hours or however much your body requires. That's pretty much it. Then yeah, for me, just work way too much. That's kind of it. Take constant breaks. I actually made an interesting video. I think I mentioned it on the last live stream as well. Work from home. Yeah, there you go. A bunch of tips from how to work from home. And one of the main tips is also take a break. So I go out, I walk my dogs, I get up, I drink some water, and do a bunch of things. That's kind of the thing. So make constant breaks and don't give up on sleep. Those are my best tips. Yeah, so for this one, apparently this one's already on this project. So let me just close it, and it's on the, and I already forgot the name. There you go, it's this one. Yeah, the crafting mechanism animation pack. Because I'm pretty sure this one has some animations for chopping. Oh, because they are all inside the thing, that's why. Crawling, digging, item. Item carry. Sounds Spanish and Italian. I'm Portuguese, so you're kind of close, I guess. Okay, so there's one hammering on the wall. Play games, I call it research. Yeah, that is definitely, that is very important. Playing games is important to make sure that you don't commit mistakes for no reason. Just watch how others have solved similar problems. And yeah. Do you know Danny? I actually met him briefly when I went to a Unite conference in 2019, I think. Quite a long time ago. Yeah, he was there. It was pretty nice. Yeah, that was fun. Right, so I don't think I have some... I've got item back away. I need some animations kind of like looting something. Gather kneeling. Okay, so this one actually looks pretty good. Although the root motion, yeah, that is going to be... Are you still employed by Unity? I'm not sure what you mean by that, because I don't work for Unity. I use the Unity engine in my work, but I don't work for Unity, the company. Right, so actually the fact that that one has some root motion, that is actually going to be tricky. But yeah, I'm not seeing any others. I mean, there's a item pickup animation. So that one goes down. Item pull up. Oh, that could also be interesting. Alright, so yeah, I think that one is the best one. I thought they sponsored you. Yeah, I've done some sponsored videos, but I'm not a Unity employee. But yeah, I have done some sponsored videos with them. I mean, I use the engine, so yeah, whenever there's something that is great for both, that's a win-win. Alright, so let me just pick up this one. Which one did I want? Already forgot. This one, the gather. Okay, let me just export this one. And it's going to export the whole thing. Is it? Actually, yeah, actually, why don't I... Yeah, this one is an animation pack, so I can just import this whole thing and it won't really clutter up the project too much. So let's just try... Open the link, not the basic motions, the crafting mechanism animation pack. Really nice pack, so let's import it. What's this game about? It's going to be a turn-based strategy game with a large open world, some automation elements, some crafting elements, some survival, a whole bunch of things. It will hopefully be very interesting. That's my hope. Okay. Right, so I'm going to need to run some animations. So basically, let's just play around a little bit with this. Yeah, for this one, it's just some scripting. how are you doing sounds? I have no idea. I'm probably going to pick up some things from the asset store, because obviously me making sounds, that doesn't really work. Right, so let me just delay these by a little bit. And beginning, so the survivor gets there, and then survivor, let's call it get component to get the animator, and then I'm going to need to kind of set some trigger to play the gathering animation. Something like that. How large is this project? How far are you into so far? I mean, I started designing it about, I don't know, 3-4 months ago, but I only actually started working on it about 2 weeks ago, so still very early days. Okay, so let me go inside this one and let me find the gather animation. So the gather, let me put it in there, and I'm going to make a transition from any state into gather, and transition is going to trigger, let me make a trigger, call it gathering, and on the gathering trigger. Okay, so he does that, goes in there. Oh crap, I'm stuck. Okay, well that's a strange bug. I've let go of the mouse, but it's still moving. Okay, that's strange. Okay, that is very strange. All right, let me close the animator window. Okay, that's a weird bug. All right. Okay, that's fixed. All right. Oh boy, yeah. Ooh, a bunch of weird. I have that bug all the time. Really? First time it's happened to me. Very strange. All right. Yeah, I guess that is why I usually stick with the LTS version, but for this project, since I started from the course code base, which was based on Unity 22, I'm using 22.1.0. So one of the least stable things, but yeah, it's okay. Right, so go into that one, the gather, and that one is actually going to look quite a bit strange because it does have looping on the animation, and yeah, let's set it to loop. Actually, do I want it to loop? I'm not sure. Anyways, for now, let me just make the basics, just the basics of the timing. So the character should go there, and actually that's not quite. So yeah, because I made this one, but I actually do want them to yeah, because I want to make it transition back so that it stops gathering. So for the parameters for gathering, yeah, let's get rid of this one. Yeah, just delete it, and let's make it a boolean instead. So is gathering, and on this one, let's transition when is gathering is true, and then you stay there, and then you exit when is gathering becomes false. Okay, so now for the scripting, I can set bool, set the gathering into true, then play the animation, then before I start moving, set it to false so that it goes into the movement. All right, so let's see if this basic logic, no, that one as well. Okay, if you just joined, then basically what I'm doing is kind of creating a bunch of scenes that I'm going to use in order to make, not gathering, thanks for that. I was going to have a weird bug. All right, thank you. Yeah, so basically I'm creating a bunch of scenes to kind of like making a concept trailer for the game that I'm working on. That's kind of what I'm doing right now so that I can record the trailer. And there you go, got broken. Why did you get broken? Foot? Why does the foot... Okay, this animation apparently has something strange. Deterministic physics. That is a really complex topic. So yeah, for this game, physics aren't really something that I'm worrying too much about, so no. There you go. Why does this animation have some animation events? Okay, I'm not sure, but well, let's use the usual trick. So let me go into the animator. The gather needs to be read only, so I have no idea why this one comes with some animation events, but that's okay, that's an easy fix. So let's go into gather and just get rid of these events. So foot R, yeah, maybe it was some animation events for handling some foot placement, I assume. So let's see if it works. So the character moves to the right and places. Did I put it on update? I don't think I put it on update. Yeah, I put it is gathering true on start. code generation. Yeah, I also wish it generated the C# class so that I didn't have to use some strings. That would be very good. I definitely hate using strings. Okay, so why is this one a bit strange? Do not maximize it. Just normally. Let me select, is this character? I don't know. Nope, it's the other one. This one. Why is that one constantly jumping? That's strange. Oh, because I'm from any state. Oh, yeah, that's why. Because from any state, it's always going to be jumping. So obviously that does not work. So let's go from that one to that one. And yeah, obviously that's the issue. It's constantly going from the same one. So is gathering to true and get rid of the one from the any state. And now it should work. It's looping too fast. No, it was just basically being constantly called. Whereas now, there you go. It only calls once. And hey, that actually looks pretty good. All right, I thought I was going to have to modify a whole bunch of things, but actually, no, that works. Can't transition to the self to false. Oh, is that an option? I actually didn't know that. That's interesting. So there you go. He goes there, he gathers, then he goes, then he should gather down. All right. So that's kind of the basic scripting that I'm going to be using in order to make the trailer. So that should be interesting. But before I really go deep on one specific scene, I really would like to get as many scenes done as possible. So then, for example, where's my, there you go. So that's this scene. So I've got a bunch of zombies that are going to be walking down, stepping on traps and dying and so on. So that is going to showcase basically the survival mechanics. Animate your custom avatar. No, not really. That would be a fun addition, but no, right now they just walk randomly. Anyways, okay, so this one is pretty much basically, you know, the core idea that I want to make. So yeah, that's pretty much this. All right, so that's good. I'm happy with that. So now let me make this one. I basically just want to make the crafting table. That's one of the main things. So let's just take out of this one. Watching since 2019. Wow, is that right? That's awesome. Thanks for being here. Wow, it's quite crazy how time flies. It feels like only yesterday I started this channel, and yet it's already been 4, maybe 5 years, almost 5 years. Damn, it's crazy. Time really does fly, yeah. Okay. I'm going to test for the other one. If I may ask, why zombies? I mean, of all things, because I want basic dumb enemies, but lots of them. That's pretty much it. So I want I like the idea of having kind of like an overrun effect. So you got like 4 or 5 survivors and you're against 100 enemies. And if it's 100 human enemies with weapons, that's a very lopsided encounter. So yeah, making zombies makes sense. I mean, the zombies they're pretty dumb. They just use melee. So with zombies, it does make sense to have a matchup with just a handful of survivors and a whole bunch of them. Of my avatar. Okay, let me refresh that. Okay, right. So the other one that I want to feels bad when you kill the zombie. Yeah, that's kind of it. No one feels bad. Okay, so the other one that I want is the crafting scene. So let's do that one. So let's make a new folder. Trailer for the crafting scene. And let's rename this one for the crafting scene. And the main thing that I want from the crafting scene is just making the workbench. So let's pick up some props to make a workbench. I picked up a whole bunch of tables. So let's see which one do I use. Bunch of things there. Okay. Bunch of dressers, bunch of trash. There's the thing. Okay, so for a workbench, yeah, I think that one is probably... Yep, the update with the hex rate just went live. So yeah, that's awesome. I hope you enjoy it. All right, so over here, there's some electrical things. Nope, not what I want. Yeah, I think for tables, I've got a more wooden table. Is that one better? No, I still think that one looks best. So let's see, because I think I had a table with, oh no, there you go. I knew I had this. Like this really looks perfect for a workshop setting. Why not alien invaders? Because usually alien invaders they've got weapons. You know, like in XCOM, the enemies they all shoot you. Whereas I want kind of like a fighting against a giant force. So yeah, that is why I'm going with zombies and not that. So actually maybe this table looks a bit better. Alright, so let's go like that. How would you recommend learning Blender? I learned quite a lot with, there's actually a gamedev TV course, which is actually how I made them in conjunction with the turn-based strategy course. There's this nice bundle, and oh boy, this is, yeah, my internet gets really slow when I'm streaming, so yeah. Yeah, basically this complete Blender course, I went through it and it's really helpful, really awesome. So if you want to learn Blender, I can definitely recommend that one. And yeah, it's actually surprisingly, I didn't make a video on what I learned with Blender. And there you go. I spent about 10 hours going through that course and so on. And yeah, I actually learned how to make quite a lot of things. So yeah, look at this. This final game was all made using the things that I learned. So I made a whole bunch of cars, a whole bunch of cities. Obviously, it all looks pretty basic if you compare it to a professional modeler. But seeing as how I made it in, you know, I learned how to make this in about 10 hours. So with that, I'm pretty happy with what I managed to build. So yeah, I wish I had more time to research Blender some more because yeah, it's a fascinating thing. Okay, right, so where was I? Right, so let me pick these up. Let me go out. Let me go into the... Let me actually pick that one up as well. Pick up all these. My character's not updating. Which one? I just validated one more. I don't think there are any more. Oh, no, there is. So let me validate that one. Okay, they're all validated. Let me click on the update character. And now in a few seconds, it should, there you go, there's your character. Hey, really nice, really custom character, nice job. That's nice. All right, so there you go, now into crafting. And let's just dump these assets here. Where's my character? Right in there. And there you go. So basically I want to make a crafting station. So I think something like this visually should be interesting. Obviously I'm going to need to, is that flat? It is flat. Right, so let's put it kind of like that. Why is that in a weird angle? So 180. And let's move it up a little bit. Do I scale it? Okay, let's see in relation. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. Except this one is not supposed to be a zombie, but I'll leave that for now. Let's just put the unit there. And for this one, let me actually take away that. And let me make a crafting, so a new animated controller. So for the crafting, too far away from the tools. Yeah, I guess he technically could not reach there. Yeah. I bought your turn-based strategy course and it is very good. Love the amount of details you get into each topic. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, that course was a ton of work, but I'm really happy with how it came out. It really teaches you a ton of stuff, so yeah. So yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Use HERP for a game or just use URP? Well, for the game that I'm making, I'm going to be using URP, so yep. Basically, unless you're chasing the absolute top tier visuals, which for me, I'm not an artist, so I'm using a low poly asset, so for me, nope. But yeah, only if you're going for the absolute high end, should you use HERP. For pretty much all other use cases, you should be using URP. That's pretty much the way that I look at it. Okay, so because for crafting, there were some interesting animations. Yeah, let me see which ones are in here. Animations. Handoff. Nope. Carry overhead. What's a secret project? It's basically my next Steam game. So I just started working on it a while ago, and it will hopefully be out, let's say, around July of next year. So still very much early days. Name of this asset, which one? This one, the crafting mechanism. That one is, it's called Crafting Mechanism Animation Pack, a whole ton of animations. And if you mean the visuals, I'm not sure. I picked up a bunch of props from a whole bunch of Cinti Studios assets, so yeah, not sure. Oh, yeah, look at that. Another custom character. Really nice. What do you think about Unreal Engine? I don't know. I've never used it, but I've heard great things about it. So if you like it, I would definitely not discourage you from using it. Definitely go ahead. Pretty much nowadays, all engines are excellent, so there's pretty much no wrong answer. So just pick something and get to learning. That's pretty much it. Okay, so for working on something like that, crawl head up. That's a fun animation. Yeah, the Gatherer, that one is a fun animation like that. Gather kneeling, that is interesting. Item belt, what is that? Oh, picking up an item from the belt, that's fun. Hammer on the table and hammer on the wall. Okay, so I think I'll be going with this one. Or, no, the table. Because he goes down. Alright, that's fun. Okay, so let's go into that one. The hammer... Ah, missed it. There you go, this one. Except for this one. Move to function. That one is pretty basic. Over here it doesn't even have any pathfinding. So basically just assigns a position list, so just a list of vector 3s, and keeps track of the index. And then just grabs the current one on the current index, calculates the movement direction to go there, sets the forward in order to rotate the transform roller forward, and pretty much just moves towards that direction. If it's above the stopping distance, then moves within that direction. If it is closer than the stopping distance, then just goes to the next position index, and if it reaches the end, pretty much just stops. So some pretty basic movement code, that's pretty much it. Awesome Chat plugin. Yeah, if you want to know how I made it, I actually covered a whole bunch of videos on it. So the first one is how to make Unity transparent. That one is pretty important. That one is a pretty excellent thing. And then for the characters are all based on dynamic meshes. So if you want to learn how to do that, you can watch that video. And finally, for interacting with the YouTube API, that's pretty much just an HTTP request. No, not this one, this one. How to download data and images from inside Unity. So if you combine all three of those tutorials, and you have pretty much what I have down here. It's a pretty fun thing. All right, okay, so I've got this one, and let's just see how that looks. Did I put it on that one? I did. So for this one, yeah, it should be pretty much like that. And this animation actually has the same problem. That is strange. Why do these animations have animation events? That is so strange. I'm going to have to clear up all of them, because then I cannot edit them. So I need to duplicate to edit this one, to then go select that one, and over here let's get rid of the animation events. That is really so strange. Anyways, fine. And since I'm here, I can probably just make it loopable. Yep, like that. All right, okay. And there you go, the character, which should be a character, not a zombie, but yeah, pretty much. These get scriptable object data at runtime. Not sure what you mean. I mean, if a scriptable object is referenced just like you reference any other asset, any other thing. So if you have a field and you reference a scriptable object, you can access it. That's pretty much it. So yeah, not sure what you mean by that. If I join YouTube channel, does that give you less money than Patreon? Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to remember what is the Patreon rate. I think Patreon charges 15%, I think, and YouTube charges 30%, so technically yes, but if you want to support, hey, whatever works for you, that's pretty much it. I'm definitely not going to force you to go to a specific place. If you feel the videos are helpful and you want to get my course or support Patreon, channel member, whatever, just, yeah, thank you. Right. Getting data from the code without needing a reference. I mean, a scriptable object is an object, so you always need a reference to that object. Maybe you're looking into something that you don't have to load, so maybe you need to look into addressables, which I actually have a video on that coming out soon, so that should be like that. Experience in terrain. Nope, I've only used terrain very little, so yeah, not much experience with using terrain. Okay, so for this one, I want to put the camera kind of a bit more like this. So for this one, the idea is I've got the crafting station, then a bunch of UI on the side. That's kind of it. So links are awesome. Yep, go ahead and watch those tutorials and you will learn how to build all of this. How is the YouTube avatar actually running? Yeah, go watch the 3 tutorials that I posted on chat. And yeah, if you combine all 3 of them, you can make a chat overlay just like this one. Okay, so this is pretty much what I want. Actually, let's just a bit shift it to the right. Yeah, kind of like this. And then I'm going to have the canvas control a game character on your screen via YouTube live chat. I mean, it's possible. You can do whatever you want, but right now for this specific live chat characters, no, it just says the text and they randomly move around. But yeah, if you want, you can create your own code to connect to the YouTube API to do whatever you want. There's a bunch of interesting things you can do if you combine live chat with proper game, you know. What was I doing? Right, so on the canvas, I'm not actually going to make the canvas right now because that's quite tricky, but let me just make it pretty basic. So I'm going to basically have, back to that, I basically want a bunch of windows. So one of them is going to be the inventory, the other one maybe the inventory of the crafting station, and then the item equipment and so on. So I'm going to have a bunch of windows. Yeah, something like this. So this is kind of going to be the second shot pretty much. Let's just add an outline and also a shadow just for fun. So 5 minus 5, just like that. All right, so that's kind of going to be the second shot on the trailer. This one is showcasing the crafting mechanic. Okay, so pretty much like this. I'm going to need to edit the animation in order to get rid of the feet movement, but yep, I think this looks pretty good, pretty interesting. All right, okay, so that's the second shot. That's what I want it to be like. Just need to change the character, of course. Why is that one sampling? Right. So that's that one. So the workshop, I'm actually pretty pleased with this. How many units is this? I actually didn't notice. Trying to think if this would fit on the final game, and actually it would fit. Yeah, this is exactly 2 units long, which if I looked, I'm not a channel member, here's my code monkey. I actually don't know what emotes did I use. I don't remember. Yeah, it should be interesting. It's an update to your strategy course, kind of. I'm basically taking my strategy course and I'm building it up into a full Steam game. That's kind of the goal. Yeah, so for my workshop over here with proper assets, it uses pretty much 2 units on the width. So yeah, it's going to perfectly match on the final game there. Okay, so that's going to be fun. All right. Okay, so this second scene on my storyboard, that one is correct. Now let's say this one that I want to showcase pretty much the automation mechanics. So for that, I'm going to need a bunch of items. So let me make this one. Tutorial for the new UI toolkit. Yep, I very much would like to do that. I've already done a whole bunch of research and it is an interesting thing. So yeah, I very much want to do it. Just not sure when, but yep, definitely on my list. So the trailer automation. Let me just duplicate that one for the trailer automation. And okay. Right, so on this one, for the automation, I know with PHP how to call an API. Is it similar to PHP or not? Yep, I mean, calling, just watch that video that I mentioned, this one. And yeah, you just do an HTTP request. So yeah, as long as you've got a GET API, it's super easy to work with it, pretty much. Okay, so for the automation, I would like to have something like this. So I need some power poles, and then some item transfers, then a bunch of items, and a drone gathering resources, and a bunch of things. Why do you use light theme? Because dark theme burns my eyes. That's pretty much it. Okay, so on the props, I'm pretty sure I had a drone somewhere. It's a bunch of trash. There you go. There's a nice drone. Although this one is probably way too small. but okay. So let me pick up the drone, go into the scene for the automation, and yeah. We get to learn this in the course. Are you building this? Is your next team game? This is going to be my next team game, so obviously the whole thing will not be in the course. That would be pretty much impossible. But whatever I work on this, I would like to make some expansions to the course, showcasing a bunch of things that I'm going to do here. So yes and no, pretty much is the answer to that. Many times a stream do you answer questions about Dark Theme? Yeah, pretty much every stream. I mean, a lot of people seem to enjoy dark mode, dark theme. So yeah, they always ask me why, and it's okay. I mean, different people have different preferences. Okay, so I've got a nice drone, so that's fun. Probably going to need to make some animation. Oh, the propellers are actually separated, so that's going to make it super simple. All right, so I've got a drone. Then I'm going to need the items. And for the items, I'm actually going... I really like the thing that I use for the prototype. Where's my prototype? Let me just see. Where's my game scene? No, not this one, the demo scene. There you go. So on this one, yeah, I've got these items right here. I actually like this one, having a nice cube with the item icon on top. I think that actually looks pretty interesting. So these are some prefabs. So let me spawn these on the other one. So that's on the trailer scene for the automation. Let me dump a bunch of these items right in there. Oh, not that one, not the item transport whirl, just these. How do you decide what next game to work on? Find that as I become successful, I can seem to find my own ideas both interesting and commercially viable. I mean, the answer is think about whatever you're interested in and then do some market research to find out if that is a potentially good idea. There's a... I mean, nowadays marketing really is the most important thing. So I made a video all about it. Yeah, actually it's not called marketing. I called it most important. So if you haven't seen this video, definitely go watch it. And another thing that I mentioned in this video, let me go into the description. And because there's, there you go, just like this. How to make video game hooks, made by Ryan Clark from the Clark Tank. So definitely make sure you watch this, because nowadays you really need to have a good hook if you want to be successful. So yeah, definitely make sure you watch this video, study this video, in order to study what is a good hook, what is a successful hook, what can be successful, and so on. That is super important nowadays. So yeah, definitely, if you want to be successful as an indie dev, if you're doing this as hopefully more than a hobby, if that is your goal, definitely do not neglect coming up with a good hook, because that alone is going to simplify your marketing so much more. So yeah. All right, so I've got a bunch of items and they have rigid body, so that's fun. Are they gonna all jump around? Yeah, they are. That's interesting. Yeah, so let me put a whole bunch of items around here. Okay, so I'm basically going to have a bunch of items. Then the drone is going to have some kind of... Trying to think for my... Over here, so I basically need a drone station, and I also need something. Gotta go now. Bye. Thanks for the great videos. All right, it's awesome. Bye. See you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day, if it's day, I guess. Okay, so I need a drone base station and then a whole bunch of power poles. So let me see, how can I get that? For power poles, I'm pretty sure I've got a whole bunch of them. So I've got like this one or something much more basic. I'm not sure actually. Which one should I go with? I think this one. I think it's visually more interesting rather than that one. It's way too basic. But I'm thinking on the final game this one might be too visible. But anyways, I can always change it later. So let me pick up this one into the automation scene and let's place it. And let me position the camera. So for this scene, I actually want a big wide view, so much bigger than this. Yeah, maybe something like this. I'll put the game view. So I take the power pole and I'm going to have, yeah, kind of like this. So power pole, another one, and maybe another one. Then for this one is maybe going to be down here. I think it's worth getting into Pro. I mean, if you need it, if you've made over 100 grand with your game, or rather 200 grand, if you've made over 200 grand with your game, then yeah, definitely do get it. But if not, then yeah, there's really no reason to. So yeah, it all depends. I mean, if you've already made 200 grand, then congratulations, that is insanely successful. So yeah. Okay. Right, okay, so then I'm going to dynamically create some meshes to go around and transfer power. Then I'm also going to need, okay, let me just, okay, I'm going to need another one there so that I can push it like that. Okay, so I'm going to need a whole bunch of power stations, right? And then the items also transfer. Trying to think, going back into, because I want the crafting station. Do I put it, I guess, which synthetic acid is this? I don't know. I picked up, I pretty much populated this this prop scene with props from pretty much every asset that I could find. So a bunch of them are from the Apocalypse pack. That's probably most of it. Then there's a bunch from the military pack, a bunch from the Battle Royale pack, some from the shops pack. So yeah, pretty much just went through all the packs. I went through all of the props, all of the items, and just dragged them all into this scene. Anything that looked vaguely interesting, anything that could fit what I'm trying to build. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. So let me go in here. Which Unity C# programming course suitable for a teenager programmer around 15? That depends on what level of skill you're at. If you're a complete beginner, then I would suggest over here you got a bunch of C# videos. So if you want to learn a whole bunch of things about C#, just start off with this one, learn the C# basics really quickly, then dive deeper into each one, learn about C# loops, then about interfaces, generics, delegates, events, the differences between value and reference type. So a whole bunch of interesting info here. So if you watch these vids, you will become quite a bit more knowledgeable. And if you want a more guided path, then maybe look into my courses. So if you're a bit more advanced, maybe look into the turn-based strategy course. If you're a bit more of a beginner and you want specifically on C#, maybe the build and defend course. So it depends on where you are in your learning journey. Okay, so let me just pick up these three things. So I'm going to want on the automation scene, I'm going to want, just try and think of where am I going to place this. Because I kind of want the items to be transferred along this area. But I want to be able to showcase the drones doing things. Actually going to be tricky. Because if I put it over here, it's not really going to be visible, because the idea is for the trailer for it to be pretty much the window separated into just 6 boxes, showcasing the 6 main mechanics for the game. So each box is going to be pretty small. So if I have this scene, and it's actually going to be about this size. So with this, it's not really very visible. But yeah, I guess the drone comes here, picks up, drops some things there. Then that one picks it up. Maybe on this final one, if I push it more over here onto... Move to Unreal. Yeah, I'd love to have some time to try out Unreal to see what they do better. But yeah, that's always my main problem. It's always a lack of time. So yeah, if I had infinite time, yep, I would love to try out Unreal to see what they do differently. Because I'm sure there are some things they probably do better. So it's always fun to see how different engines do different things. Okay, so... It's actually going to be a tricky shot because How do I showcase both the scale? Yeah, I guess maybe I'm thinking too much. Maybe I put the crafting station down here and just showcase the items being transferred all over. Yeah, I guess this one picks up items, drops them over there. Then some other drone picks some items over here and puts them to the crafting station. And yeah. Oh crap. I have to, I'm going to need to make it into that. Okay. Right, so yeah, I think like this, it could work. Let me just duplicate these. These are probably going to be way too much. Skim about, what's the hook? The hook is way too many systems and mechanics. That's kind of the main hook. So it's open world, survival, crafting, automation, defense, management. So that's the main hook, that it's got tons of genres and the whole thing works well. That's the hope. So yeah, tons of systems, very systems heavy game, which will hopefully do well on Steam. So yeah, that's pretty much the hook and it will hopefully do well. Let's see. Okay, so anyway, so like this, yeah, I think it does. So that's how this scene is going to be. So basically the drone comes over here, picks up an item, then goes to a base station, drops it. Then I'm going to have the item transporters. So that is one thing that is going to be... Okay, so I need the visual for the drone base and the drone and the item transporter. So how do I make those two? So for a drone base, really work on its graphics too. Yep, I won't be using, I mean, not myself, I won't be using access to the asset store in order to make sure that the game looks good, because I by myself, I cannot really build much, but with access to the asset store, yep, I can actually make something interesting. Right, so for a drone base, what can I use? Not sure. That one looks a bit interesting if the drone would spawn from there, or maybe the battery table here. That's tricky. Or I find out what I'm interested in making. I mean, you make whatever you like, that's kind of it. I don't like programming systems, I don't like procedural, but that's not like, I mean, there are tons of programming games. So if you want to start with something like that, all of the Zachtronics games, where's the store.steam powered. If you search for, what's the name? Space Cam. That was the one quite a while ago. So if you like systems heavy game, oh, there you go. Got a little visitor. Yeah, so if you like systems heavy games, then there's no trailer for Space Cam. That's strange. Well, all of these Zachtronics games, so if you like systems heavy games, then pretty much all of these will be, what is the one about, yeah, there you go, the Shenzhen IO, or actually the ITES. So yeah, basically anything can be a game, really. So yeah, whatever games you like to play, try making one of those. Because if you like playing them, then you know what makes that game good. So, Manor Lords, yeah, is that one out? I thought that one was still waiting for it. Yeah, Manor Lords does look really interesting, and yeah. So yeah, basically find out whatever games. Oh, they had a demo last week. Oh, so it's not out yet. Manor Lords. Yeah, it's not out yet. It does look really interesting. So yeah, definitely the kind of game that I very much would like to play. It looks really systems heavy, and also seems to be doing very well. So if I go into SteamDB, oh, Tico. If I go into SteamDB and I search for Manor Lords, if I go into the charts, look at that. Oh God, 150,000 followers. So if you want to guess, if you want to guess how many wishlists, it's usually about 10 to 12 times this. So this game has about 1.5 million wishlists. So that is really insane. So when this game comes out, yeah, pretty much guarantee this is going to be a massive success. Yeah. So if you want to guess how well a game is doing before release, you can check the public followers count, multiply it by 10, you get the wish list, and if it is above, I don't know, 20,000, then probably going to do quite well. That's pretty much it. All right, okay. Right. Nice dog. His name is Tico. T-I-C-O. Tico. Dog's thinking who he's talking to. I mean, they were a bit spooked when they first saw me making videos, but yeah, nowadays I think they already see it as pretty normal to see me just talking to nobody. Yeah, they're already used to that. Okay, so I think I'll use this one as the base for my drone. I don't know, I like the color. I think that looks interesting. So that is kind of going to be, it's supposedly just a briefcase, but I think it will work well for a drone base. Can I make it more square like? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so I think this is going to work well for a drone base, and maybe add some more props to make it more interesting, but yep, like this. Why is that? Oh, right, yeah, with the level of zoom, I'm going to need to play around with the ambient occlusion, because that one looks like it has no shadows, and that looks quite a bit strange, so yeah, I'm going to need to play around that. Anyways, you make trailers before you've made the game, is that to get the Steam page up as quickly as possible, and yep, that is indeed the answer. Basically, you want to announce the game as quickly as possible so you can start gathering wish lists. So yep, right now the game is still, I've already done quite a lot of things. So over here the game already has quite a lot of systems, but obviously as you can see on the visuals, they're just cubes. So over here this is supposed to be building a turret, so I can pick up some things. I can go there, I can interact with it, so all the systems work. So there you go, creates a turret, which again is nothing but black boxes. Then I can also, yeah, something really nice. Let's pick up some items, and let's transfer some items over there. Oh, it already has some, I didn't know. Okay, so let's create an item transport route. Transport items in there, and then in there. And let's create that route. And now if I end the turn, there you go, a bunch of items get spawned, and they start being transported from this position to that position, and then they go into that one, and actually they can't get there because that one does not have power, so I need to construct a power pole in order to expand over here the power grid. So I need to go with this unit, I need to pick up something to build it, and I need to move over there. So as you can see, a lot of the systems are already working, and there you go, now that one is indeed transferring items. So I already got quite a lot of systems, but as you can see, the visuals are not done. It would not look good if I made the trailer looking like this. So that is why I'm pretty much just making some concept scenes in order to be able to record the trailer, which is kind of like going to be kind of like a concept trailer. So I make the trailer so that I can eventually make the Steam page public, so that I can publicly announce the game. So yep, that's kind of the goal. It'll look very different from what I imagined. That's great. Tutorials are great. Really appreciate all the work you've done. All right, that's awesome. Hey, I'm glad the videos have helped you. It's really nice. Thank you. Advice for a developer to start a YouTube channel for Unity stuff. I'm not sure. Just know that it's extremely difficult. That is all that I can say. Yeah, really advice, I don't know. Focus on searchable results. That's kind of thing. I mean, if you're making tutorial content like me, that is not the kind of thing that goes viral. So definitely do not expect to be making videos that are tutorials that get millions of views. That is not going to happen. So focus on topics that can be searchable. And yeah, that's pretty much my advice. It's extremely difficult, so if you do it, definitely do it on the side. Don't make it as a job. I mean, for me, it took me 20 months before this channel made any money whatsoever. Before I got the first paycheck from YouTube ads, took 20 months. And before it started taking a profit was maybe about 40 months. So yeah, definitely don't go into Unity YouTube if money's your goal. Yeah, definitely just do it as a side thing if you enjoy it. So sorry for being so down, but yeah, that's a reality. It's a really tricky business. That's pretty much it. Yeah, 40 months. Yeah, it was a huge amount of time. Yeah, I've been doing this since 2018. So yeah, it's been 4.5 years. quite a lot. Yeah, hey, thanks for all of you being here. I mean, the channel only works because all of you are here watching and hopefully getting value from the video. So thank you all for being here watching. Yeah. All right, so what was I doing? Let me just make a bet. It's almost time for them to have dinner, so that is why he's jumping up to me. So just a bit more. Where are you from? Your accent sounds Portuguese. Yep, I am Portuguese. Oh, crap. Okay, so basically I want the drones, and then let me have another drone. Ótimo, já vai, espera aí um bocado. Alright, so then I'm going to have another one sort of around here. Then going to have another drone, and I'm basically going to move the drone, and the drone is going to handle some crafting, pick up some items and things. So I just need the item transport. Okay. Where did you get the Code Monkey name? I quite like the term Code Monkey, even though technically it's supposed to be sort of an insult. Or not an insult, but it's not supposed to be a positive thing. It's supposed to be someone who just dumbly writes code. But for me, I always found that term to be pretty funny, pretty interesting. So when I was coming up with a name for this channel, yeah, Code Monkey seemed like a fun name. That's pretty much it. But yeah, the term actually exists as sort of a negative thing, but I enjoy it. So yeah, for me, it's a positive. Right, let me just make the item transport hub. And then I think that's gonna be it. I'm back. How's Australia going? Yeah, going pretty well. I'm working on the third scene, so that should be pretty fun. You're not worried you'll get an idea and not like it? That happens to me quite often. Sure, but at some point you have to have confidence in yourself, confidence that you picked the right idea, and then just push through it. I mean, making games is extremely difficult, so definitely don't expect to always love working on the game 24/7. You're definitely going to have some difficult moments. So yeah, you definitely have to push through those. That's kind of it. As long as you picked something good, something interesting, and you thought enough about it, then I would say, yeah, push through the difficult moments. But do make sure that you picked an idea that makes sense in the beginning. Yeah. Right, so I want an item transport hub, but I have no idea what that is supposed to look like. Do I make like some crate? Because for the transport hub, it's kind of meant to be something that receives the item then goes underground and gets transported. That's kind of the rough idea. Is there a way to arrange any of these assets? I mean, these are mainly Cinti Studios assets, so if you look in the asset store, search for Cinti Studios, and you will find pretty much everything that I have here. Oh boy, I'm really not seeing anything that maybe this one? I think this is meant to be kind of like a liquid container, but maybe that could work. Maybe that could look. Hey, Super Chat, thank you. What are you watching on streaming right now? Well, actually, I'm not watching anything, but now that I think Rings of Power has just ended, I don't like watching things as they're coming out, so now that it just ended, I'm going to binge watch that. Hopefully it's good, it should be interesting, so yeah. I'm planning to watch that. Beyond that, I still have to watch The Witcher Season 2. Still haven't seen that. Really enjoyed Season 1, so yeah. Definitely would like to find some time. And I've also still haven't finished watching Naruto. I watched Shippuden for about 80 episodes, so I still gotta watch about 400 of those, so I really would like to finish watching that. So need about 100 hours to be able to finish watching that, so that, yeah, it's always tricky to find the time. That is always the main issue. Okay, so I think I'm going to sort of use that one. Maybe put some things on top. Yeah, I think of the assets that I have here, that is one that makes most sense. So let's see. I am from Brazil. Maroccan Portuguese is a shame. Yeah, thanks for the tutorials to help give you. But your turn-based course. It helped you get a job. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, I'm glad. Hey, best of luck with the job. That is really nice. Yeah, content in Portuguese. I would definitely encourage anyone interested in game development or any kind of technical topic to really learn English, because finding things in different languages, Portuguese or Spanish, German, whatever, it's going to be really tricky. So yeah, I would definitely advise everyone to really learn English. It's tricky. I mean, it definitely sucks that it's not, you don't have as much content in your native language, but yeah, if you really want to learn, then yeah, that's really the best way. But hey, I mean, you're here, so you already know English. That's awesome. So best of luck with the job. Okay, so let me just see where this is. Yeah, kind of like this, so I guess I'm going to use this one. If in Arabic, I agree. Yeah, I'm sure finding content in Arabic is going to be tricky, so yeah, definitely learning English is probably the best way to get access to the most amount of knowledge possible. Thankfully for me, I've always been interested in English, so it's never something that I had to force myself to learn. I pretty much learned while watching Cartoon Network as a kid. Watching Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls, that was always really awesome stuff. So yeah, learning all of that, I managed to learn English pretty easily because I enjoyed the cartoons. So yeah, just kept watching them, kept learning one letter at a time, and yeah, by the time I actually learned English officially in school, I was already pretty comfortable with it. So yeah, that was a fun journey. Are you in game dev full-time? Aren't you scared that your ID is bad? You could end up in debt, homeless? I mean, that comes to managing how you spend your money. I mean, for me, keep in mind that I'm in Portugal, so one very big thing is how much money do you spend. For me, I've been making games since 2013, so this isn't really a new thing. And at that time, I've definitely learned to manage my finances, keep my expenses very low. Basically, if I was living somewhere really expensive like San Francisco and I needed 10K just to survive, then yeah, in that case, making indie games is insanely risky. But over here in Portugal, if you make something like $700, you can make a living. So yeah, at that point, it becomes much easier for the math to make sense. So if I'm working on a game for 1 year, I just need to make about 7 grand and I can live. So yeah, having low costs is really the best way to lower the risk, the stress with going into indie game. That's kind of it. So yeah, keep my expenses low, and thankfully it has worked over the years. Yeah. All right, so I think that's gonna do it for today. My voice already messed up. My dogs want to go have dinner. So yeah, thoughts on new Nature Humble Bundle. It looks really nice. So if you like realistic visuals, realistic art style, then yeah, I was looking at it a while ago. So if you like realistic visuals, this bundle is actually pretty nice. All realistic visuals. For me, I prefer low poly, but if you prefer something realistic, look at that, really high quality, really gorgeous, real nice. All right. Okay. Thank you and good luck. Nice. How often do you go to the gym? I work out 6 times a week. It's really nice. It's my happy place. It's where I go to de-stress. So going to the gym or walking my dogs, that's how I handle my breaks so that I can do all of this work without going crazy. All right, okay, so I think that's gonna be it. Right, so yeah, so managed to make 3 of them. So thanks again for the super chats. So I've got the crafting scene. So that should be pretty nice. There you go, goes there, gather some things, and some zombies come in. Okay, so I gotta handle all that scripting, but yeah. So that's a scene showcasing the survival elements. Then a scene showcasing the crafting elements with a really nice crafting animation. Just need to play around with the feet just to make it not have that. But yep, that also looks nice. And then a scene showcasing the automation, so a bunch of drones picking up things, then a bunch of items being transferred, and so on. Alright, so pretty happy with the progress. When is next stream? I'm not sure. I'd like to do them at least once a week, so maybe next week. Maybe. We shall see. Did you make the editor change background blue? You can go into edit and then go into preferences. And over here you have the colors, and one of these, yep, the play mode tint. So you can set this to any color you want, and it's going to be the color to make it really visible that you are in play mode. So that is super useful. Best way to make 2D animations That really depends on how you are using animations. It could be sprite-based animations. If so, then it depends on where you draw them. And if you're using Unity IK, then you draw them into Unity. So if you're using that, then I would recommend you look into the, I actually made a video on that, into the Dragon Pressures. Yeah, there you go. So you'll look into their official sample, which showcases a bunch of IK-based animations. So if that's what you're using, definitely go ahead and do that. All right, okay. Wait to arrange any assets. All of the assets that I'm using, they're on the asset store. So if you go into the asset store and you search for Cinti packs, Cinti. If you search for Cinti Studios, you'll find lots of gorgeous low poly assets. So that's pretty much what I'm using. Okay, right. So I think that's gonna be it. I think I gotta go, just like that. All right. Okay, so this was fun. This was productive. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I answered a bunch of your questions. So hopefully it was interesting for you. Thank you all so much for being here. This was really awesome. So hopefully a bunch more live streams in the future. So that should be nice. All right, let me turn on the thing just like this, and okay. All right. Okay, so thanks again. Thank you all for being here. I hope you found this interesting and useful. So thank you all so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye, everyone.